Hello, we're back. Little bit of an update since last time. I have the PVC pipes cut to length and covered in foam, so they're ready to rock and roll. I have these marked with dots because these go into specific places. So this has like 3 dots on it, which goes to where the 3 dots are here, where it gets covered by where the head of the screw, the bolt head there. I know it's a screw bolt, but I've put a hole in that, and that goes on like that, so that this can turn freely inside it, so that it doesn't cause any issues. So these haven't been glued on yet because I'm not quite ready for those. But if I find number 2, I can show you that I've cut that one out. And this one now goes like this, so when it turns, this doesn't interfere with anything. I've had to cut this at a bit of a different angle. I couldn't cut it too exact because when I do open and close them, this needed room to expand over this, and then when I put them back down, this needed to be less, because when this was further up where it had more meat on it, it would actually catch against this, and then this piece would just get squashed down and bent. So that didn't work very well, but I do have everything else cut out. Like, for example, I have the cutter head ready to go. So if you guys have a look at some of the cool laser etch detail I've put into these, just like I did with the original pair, just like I did with the original pair. See, more laser etching and laser detailing. I've got a few other little bits to do, but right now I am literally just about to solve the issue of how I'm going to get these to work with the cutter heads when it's put on. So give me 2 seconds and I'll be back shortly. Okay. This is just me having a bit of fun, okay? Because I want to see if it works. So I made a mock-up. So what I'm using to go in between these is tongue depressors, okay? So see how the tongue depressor fits perfectly behind that? I've made it so that the bottom of this pretty much is the same width as one of the tongue depressors, right? And I've dremeled these over because they were too wide. But anyway, check this out. This is just a mock-up, but it kind of works. See how see how these are still, they're not quite like dead center, but if I put my fingers there, see how they open like a pair of bolt cutters? So my working, obviously, if I just pull one side, they tip to one side, but you do them together, they kind of work. This one's a bit funny. I'm not sure why. I think it's because I have a fiber washer behind it, but I think it might be a bit too tight. So I'm going to loosen it a little bit, see if that works. If anything, it's a bit more loose now, if anything. So that this side works. So this side here, if you keep an eye on that, see how that wants to open outwards like it's meant to. But in doing that, this one here pretty much stays still. But to get around that, I need to try and pull it so that it works a bit better with it. I did think that I might have made this too short and it might need to be a touch longer. So I'm working on that right now. But these are quite loose at the bottom here for them to, operate the way they do. But yeah, so far so good. They work. Obviously, they don't have to be, they don't have to like open absolutely, perfectly together in perfect synchronous like movement, but it would be nice. So what I've got right now is I've got another tongue depressor, and my plan is to basically put this where this tongue depressor is now, and then just elongate it a little bit so I make it longer. So that's what I'm literally planning to do. Well, basically right this second. This is quite fun. I might add, this is quite fun. Just testing and fiddling and getting to see how things kind of work. I got the reel set out earlier just to have a play around with them, and that's where I've gotten the idea of just using a tongue depressor at the top here. But what's making me wonder more than anything is, because at the top of this, I'll show you the old one in a sec. Normally I'll pause and I'll go off and I'll do this off camera, but I thought I'd do it on camera. So there's the old one, that's the one. But the reason I've done it that big is because I wanted to fit it behind this. And this is what I have here. This is what goes here. That's why I need it that length. But I'm just testing at the moment to see lengthwise what I can get away with. So what I'm going to do now is, if anything, I'm going to try and bring them. Oh, actually, hold on. What if I try them closer together first? Yes, I'm going to try them closer together first. Bear with me. Right, so what I've just done is I've drilled another hole. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if putting them closer together will work better torque-wise, to see whether that gives it enough, you know, oomph to make it, like, force itself apart, if you will. In a good way, not in a, I'm going to, like, break the whole thing. Although, you never know. It might just completely break apart, you never know. But I've just got to put these little little nuts back on. God, I tell you what, I've had them in the workshop for ages, this pack of, like, the teeniest, tiniest little hardware you've ever seen. Because I bought them to, like, modify RC cars and stuff like that. There you go, so I've tightened these up. Right, so let's straighten these up. Straighten these guys up, and I'm going to use my teeny tiny screwdriver. Tighten that up. Tighten this up. Now remember, I'm saying this now because I don't want people to think I'm trying to get it to, like, be absolutely perfect, but that ain't bad. I mean, it opens and closes. It's still like the one side that wants to work better than the other, and I think I may have found the issue. This one is so loose. Oh my god, that was so loose. Oh wait, no, still doing it. Right, okay, what if I loosen this one a touch then? This is what I do off camera. I test and test and test, and wow, that's worse if anything. Wow, why is that so bad? Why is that so bad? Well, I'm not sure, but I'm going to go back and I'm going to test it. I'm going to try and get it to work a bit better. But, you know, a lot of people be like, why don't you just 3D print it? I don't have a 3D printer. Although, I won't spoil the surprise, but, you know, you never know. But right now, I'm going to keep testing this. I'm going to keep figuring it out, see what I can do. And fingers crossed, I'll get something that functions a bit better. But obviously, like I said, I don't think I'm going to get it to work absolutely perfectly. But we'll see. Okay, we're back. And I've got my mad scientist hair on, clearly. So I've done some more testing. And so far, so good. How cool is that? So it opens like it's meant to. So you'd go up to a piece of wire, you'd go up to, like, cut a piece of wire, and you close it. And it cuts a piece of wire. How cool is that? Now, the trick I have learned is, with the nuts and bolts and stuff I've been using, there's too much, like, tighten this one, loosen this one, tighten this one, loosen this one. So what I've done is they're all like a medium tightness now, and I'll be putting a dot of super glue or Loctite on them later. Loctite, I'll have to undo them all, but anyway, so to get this to work, because what was happening, it was like pushing and pulling itself, is I've just put a piece of elastic on the back. So there's a piece of elastic there, and that stops it from essentially, like, what it was doing earlier. Well, it's hard to do now because it's got a piece of elastic in it, but it was like fully pushing itself entirely to one side, like more than that. But yeah, but anyway, so in the middle, there they are, and then open, close, open, close. I am over the moon. I'm actually really happy. Now, I have kind of been like, oh shit, there's a problem, because the nuts and bolts have to go through here, right? This is a detail piece that goes over the top, right? Now, these bolts aren't quite long enough to go through this 5mm as well as the 10mm and the lollipop stick. So I'm going to keep them where they are under here. So my plan is this piece here will get super glued to one side only. So, for example, it'll be there. So when it opens, this side comes out a little bit. I don't mind, but I am trying to figure out a way of getting this to be on in the middle and stay there. Because like I can't just super glue it, because if I super glue that to both sides, then this will never open, see? And you're just pushing against it and it doesn't open properly. Whereas when I remove it, it opens. So that's my current little predicament I'm trying to solve, but it's no big deal. Now, for those of you who are wondering then, like, what are you going to do on the other side? Well, basically, I'm just going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to drill holes in these with my Forstner bits, and I am going to, let me just get this piece lined up. Let me just get this piece lined up there and lined up there. There we go. I will have to like Dremel these, but yeah, so this will go on the back then. Tidier than that, but yeah, that's the best I can do without actually like putting it on. But that'll go like that, so it will also open and close when these are open and closed. But as I said, right now I'm just marking things out and getting things sorted, but I am over the moon with how these work. Now, they are a bit delicate. They are a bit delicate, you know. They're tongue depressors and little screws and PVC pipe and foam, so they are a bit delicate. But for the sheer fact that I can now do that, it's just the coolest thing. I love it. It makes me so happy that these open like that and then close. Open, close. It makes me so happy. Anyway, that's it for the updates for this video for now. The next video you'll see will be the completed thing, and then it's time for roof sealer and paint. So I'll do those in other videos, but for now, from me and who I'm going to call Pinchy, I'm going to call him Pinchy, because how cool is that? The fact that it's made of lollipop sticks and foam and a piece of elastic, I am over the moon. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Warrior Cosplay. I shall see you all in the next video. Bye for now.